Go.
Hi, I'm Liam Lyons. I am a sophomore journalism student at ISU. This previous semester I took Com 180, which is taught by John Plevka. In that class, I was able to learn a lot of things. We started off with photos, taking a few landscape photos, a few interactive photos. From there, we moved on to our photo project, a 5-photo and 3-photo project. And then we were able to record 6 podcast episodes. I hosted the Two Liams podcast with my roommate Liam Gribb, which we talked about the White Sox. We did a video project where we captured several video interviews, and we also were able to just get in touch with WordPress, a very, very unique site that you can just upload content, whether it be stories, photos, videos, you name it. Got to do SoundCloud for your podcast, and we also got to use YouTube. I've never really uploaded anything on YouTube before, and we were able to do that. So yeah, we did a lot of different things in John Plevka's class, able to learn a lot. And in this video, you're going to see all of that in one big compilation video. So stay tuned for that. And also, in the end of this video, I'll be posting the links in the description of the video to my social media accounts, whether it be my LinkedIn. You can get a link to my WordPress site, my Instagram, and then I'll also just put my Twitter up there, because I use a lot of Twitter for just all things sports. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Two Liams podcast, the only podcast you can find that is hosted by two people named Liam. I'm Liam Lyons. Alongside me is my partner and my roommate here at ISU, Liam Gribb. Well, let's start off with introductions. I'm Liam Lyons. I'm a sophomore journalism student here at ISU, currently involved in John Plevka's Com 180 class. I'm really looking forward to doing this podcast. And before we get any further in what we're talking about, let's toss over to my roommate, Liam Gribb, see what he has to talk about himself.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Liam Gribb. I am a sophomore history education student here at ISU, and I'm looking forward to sharing my time with you guys.
So here on this podcast, on the Two Liams podcast, we're going to be covering the White Sox, a team that me and Gribb have known a lot about over the course of our life. A very interesting team to cover over these last few years, but here we're going to be, in the next few weeks, we're going to be hoping to cover some spring training action, some news of the Sox as we might be having a few trades heading towards opening day, and just anything else that comes our way with a weekly episode. Thanks for tuning in. Currently one of the worst teams in the MLB. Actually, if you're looking at the record and stats as of today, April 16th, they are the worst team. 2-14 on the year. The only team that is worse than that is around there is the Marlins, and the Marlins have a way better roster than we do. Connor, we're out without 3 of our best players, with potentially Eloy Jimenez returning this weekend, but no Jimenez, no Moncada, and no Robert. What can the White Sox do to get better?
I think to get better, really, play baseball. Baseball's a sport where just anything can happen. You don't really need the good players, but it doesn't look like none of them are like really giving effort, because I just think their 3 best guys are out, and it just doesn't look like a team, you know? That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, if you really think about it, and I try to watch these games, I don't know if our listeners here are as faithful to this team as I am at times, because it's a rough year, a really rough year so far. A lot of baseball left, though. I think the opening day start from Garrett Crochet was awesome. He's been the only, I would say, solid piece from this team. Gavin Sheets has been there at times, but other than that, who can you even watch on this team? Robbie Grossman is our leadoff hitter. If you asked me last year who Robbie Grossman was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I found out this year he was on the Rangers team that won the World Series, but we don't really have that many good guys. You can kind of agree on that one, right, Connor?
Yeah, for sure. We don't have that many good guys. Our pitching too, it's bad, but yeah. But like I said, though, it's baseball. Anything could happen. Just not looking good right now at all.
Now, I think that the one thing that's going to be interesting to look for this year is Michael Kopech is back in the bullpen. He thought he was going to be a starter heading into spring training, but Pedro Gafal and the White Sox front office thought, you know what, let's put Michael back in the pen. And so far, he's been throwing gas, almost Aroldis Chapman level on velocity with near hundreds. In our last episode, I mentioned about how we're still without Luis Robert and Yoan Moncada. Eloy Jimenez did return this week with a DH spot in a few of those games. good to see him back. But Tommy, we were talking a little about Luis Robert before. What does losing a guy like him mean for a team that's struggling right now?
I mean, you can't get hits without him. You know, he's a big power hitter, great guy, great batter, and the Sox would really need him right now.
A guy that has stepped into that role, I would say, and not really your average go-to guy, is Paul DeYoung, ISU alum and used to play for the Cardinals and the Giants. DeYoung is our shortstop now that Tim Anderson's gone, and he's got the best average on the team, 3 homers on the year. He was doing great in that series against Kansas City. I mean, every team needs a guy like Paul DeYoung, and I think, guys, that if we have a guy like Paul DeYoung, we can maybe win some games we're not supposed to. This weekend, we got Philadelphia. Hi, I'm Liam Lyons. I'm a sophomore journalism student in Com 180, John Plevka's class. I'm also a host of the Two Liams podcast in that class. For this project, I'll be interviewing several people about asking a very specific question, and who is their favorite baseball player growing up and why? My answer to this question was Mark Burley. When I was growing up, I've been a White Sox fan my whole life, and Mark Burley was one of my favorite players to watch. He's a great pitcher, overall great guy, and he brought a sense of leadership to a team that was not always the best. So that's my answer, but throughout this video you hear several different answers and people's explanations to why they like that player.
My favorite baseball player growing up was Anthony Rizzo for the Cubs. Just kind of made me fall in love with baseball, and he was a leader for the team for years, and yeah, I'm still a big fan to this day.
Who was your favorite baseball player growing up and why?
I would have to say Adam Dunn. He was the first baseman for the White Sox when I was a little kid, and I really liked how he hit the ball hard, and I liked his batting stance a lot.
All right, my favorite baseball player growing up was Paul Konerko. I liked the Sox. I'd always take the train of the game, and he always played really hard. He was a good team leader, and yeah, he was just a tough player, and I liked him a lot.
Go. So thank you all for tuning into this video. You saw in that last video that throughout the whole video actually, that you were able to see just a bunch of the different content that we learned throughout Com 180, all compilated into one final project. And also just thank you all for just seeing how this has gone. I mean, this has been a very interesting class. Glad I learned a lot. And like I said earlier in the intro, I'll be posting the link to a few of my social media accounts and my WordPress site in the description of this YouTube video. So make sure to check out there. I'll have my Instagram, my Facebook, Twitter, and also my WordPress. So yeah, make sure to look into that, and thank you for watching.